We are here at the press conference with Tyson Fury against Dillian Whyte, the man who puts it all together, Frank Warren. Frank, how does it feel? You're here promoting the fight. We've got an event, we've got a date. It's going to be a classic.
It will be. I mean, we got the lineal champion, the best heavyweight of his generation here, and thank God he's got that personality to pull this off with the other guy not showing up. It's brilliant.
What did you make of the fact that Dillian wasn't showing up, or wasn't going to show up, and didn't in the end? When did you think it was going to be a case that, wow, he actually isn't going to come to the press conference for the biggest fight of his career?
I didn't think he was going to come because I don't think he fancies coming. He asked us some ridiculous demands and so forth. I mean, at one stage, well, not a couple of days ago, that we can't even use his image on a poster. I mean, what is that all about? We're paying him $8 million, plus he's got a $4 million upside if he wins. It's outrageous. But it is what it is, and we get on with it. As long as he's there on the night, that's all that matters. It'll be a good fight. One thing I won't take away from him is his boxing ability. He will come to fight. He's a warrior. But the rest of it leaves a lot to be desired. It's unprofessional. It's not the industry norm. I've never, ever been involved, nor ever seen a big fight of this nature, or for that matter, any fight where the challenger or one of the top, the two guys, one of them doesn't show up. I've never heard of it.
Can you understand it at all? Because yes, he's frustrated about the 80-20 split, but then when you look at the amount of money he's going to earn for this fight and the amount of money he's going to earn if he wins the fight, it'll be enormous compared to what he's earned before.
Well, I didn't determine the 80-20 split. That was done by the WBC, and that was done because his previous purses were lodged with the WBC. The highest he's ever been paid, according to what he lodged, was 500 grand. The last one was 3, and Tyson's last fight was 20 million. So who's an attraction and who's not? That's the bottom line of it, and that's how they determine what the bid is. Irrespective of that, Usyk got 20% when he come and fought Joshua. He showed up at the press conference, and like a fighting man he is, won the fight, and now he's in the big time. And he had some serious pedigree with him, coming up from the cruiserweight division. Tyson, when he went and fought Klitschko in Germany, he got 8 times less than what he's getting, Dillian, for the world title. Joshua, when he fought against Charles Martin, he got less than Dillian got, but he won the title, and then that's what happens. You go out there, you go and fight to win. Same with when Tyson went to the States to fight Wilder. He took the short end of the stick. That's what happens. You go out there, you've got belief, do it. Ruiz took the short end of the stick. Second fight against Joshua, done well. That's what fighting men do, and I don't get any of this stuff.
I want us to go back a bit. Talk us through how we got to this fight between Whyte and Fury, because it felt for a while like it may be a different opponent. It looked like it may be Usyk at one point, but we're here now. So take us through the steps since that Wilder fight.
Well, he was originally Tyson back in early December. He's only had one fight in 2 years. So back in early December, we were going to put him in, give him a fight. In February, but obviously the board shut everything down for COVID. In between that, the WBC then said that Dillian Whyte would be their mandatory challenger after he'd been moaning and bleating. Was it 1,200 days? Got his opportunity. It then said to all the promoters concerned that you've got a period of time to negotiate the terms of the fight. Couldn't agree to terms. So then they put it out to purse bids. They determined the 80-20 split based off of their previous purses I've just mentioned. We've won the purse bid. We complied with the terms of the purse bid, put the $4 million in deposit, gave them the date and venue, and we had 21 days to put the boxers' purses in. Contracts in. Tyson's went straight in, and the other how we got Dillian Whyte signed, and that's it. So he's for what he's doing is just ridiculous. He's supposed to be helping to promote the show. That's how he gets paid. That's where the money comes from. We don't just pull it up from nowhere. We got to make this work now, and he's just dreadful that he's doing this. I don't know whether it's him or the people behind him or what, but it is what it is, and we move on. Thankfully, we've got a fighter who can carry the whole thing on his big, broad shoulders because he's such a mega personality.
Have you got any concerns about the fight at all in terms of whether Dillian Whyte will turn up for the press conference for the main event, the weigh-in? I mean,
well, if you don't weigh in, you don't fight. If you weigh in, you don't fight.
Are you confident this fight will happen, though?
I'm confident it'll happen. I mean, you know, some of the demands they've asked him, the money they was asking for, to be paid to them for some reason. We've got to give them money up front. Why? When was that? Where's that ever been in a purse bid? That's why you have a negotiation period. You couldn't agree terms. You was being smart asses, so you went for the purse bid. Your promoter put in a bid nearly 10 million less than we did. Had we not bid, you'd be getting 2 million less. There's an upside for you fighting on a Queensbury show.
Let's talk about the date and the venue. How did you come to the decision that Wembley was the right place and that the late April was the right time?
Yeah, I think Wembley was. You know, late April. You know, I think the weather will be okay. Late April. We had when COVID started that year. We had bloody like an Indian spring. I don't know what you call it, but it was a nice weather. But anyway, it's the 23rd, St George's Day. It's at Wembley, which is the national stadium, English national stadium, and we got Tyson back after 4 years, so that's what that determined why we put it on here. Plus, we can get in excess of 90,000 fans in here, and I believe we'll fill it up.
And very finally, about judging for this fight, because you've said there won't be British judges for this fight. What did you make of what happened at the weekend? I mean, you've been boxing so long. How can we ensure that events like what happened at the weekend don't happen again, and this doesn't affect a fight like this one?
Well, first of all, I thought one of the judges in particular, I thought his scoring was atrocious. It's a good fight. I thought Jack going into the Lions Den done extremely well. I thought he won the fight by a couple of rounds. I thought, you know, Josh has been a brilliant champion. I mean, unifying, you know, 4 belts. That's a feat in itself. It's a magnificent achievement. But he wasn't the better man on the night. Regarding the judges, the boxing board should do something about it. If it's a football referee, a premiership referee, he would be downgraded. But no, there's no accountability. They just think that, oh, that's okay, on to the next one. Well, no, that's not good enough. And, you know, people are getting fed up with it. And we got terrible negative press about the fight. Negative press about the judging rather than about the fight and Jack Catterall's performance. So I thought that was, you know, it's just not right. So they need to do something about it. And I want just neutral. I want neutral officials for the fight. You know, I just want neutral. I don't want them from the UK. I want neutral officials.
Is it a case of improving the judges, or maybe making the methods of scoring slightly clearer?
No, I think it's about judging. Look, occasionally, you know, you can walk a close fight. I mean, I've seen. We've all been there. I thought he won. I thought he. That I get. But sometimes you can't get it that wrong. And if you're getting it that wrong, something needs to be done about it. And it ain't the first time, you know. So things need to be done, and they need to do something about the board, you know. And it might improve. It keep everyone on their toes. You know, it's subjective boxing. You know, sometimes styles make fights, and it can be a close fight. I get that, but when you've seen the outcry from it, and that speaks for itself. And we don't need that in our sport. And as I say, the Border Control need to stop all this chummy jobs for boys and get down. This is a professional sport, lots of money at risk. You know, and hats off to Josh, who got terribly trolled. I think it's disgraceful they was trying. He's been a brilliant champion, still is a champion. But he said he's moving up, he'd give Jack a rematch. But it's not for the 4 belts. So Jack's lost that chance to go down in history. And imagine what his earning power would be had he won that, had he got the decision. And that would have been a great rematch again. But it's just, we need to deal with this, and we need to send a message out that it's being dealt with.